folks, man. They gonna hate me for this. If y'all do like these videos that I'm gonna start doing, and y'all want me to continue to do them, y'all can always reach out to me and send money to my Cash App or whatever. We're gonna go ahead and go over a couple of plays that I like. I'm gonna start with the opener, and then we'll kind of go to down and yardage and situation plays. One of the first plays that I like to open play games up with is going to be the wide receiver mid screen. Okay. Usually, if my opponents are playing like zone, I'm going to use this. Now, when you're running screens, you got to have quarterback movement. You can't be a statue. So what you're going to do is you're going to run like a little U-hook and throw it to the screen. Okay, so to look like this, run the little U-hook, go to the screen, just bear with me. Sometimes they'll give me the good completion, sometimes they won't. Good. So U-hook, go to the screen. Something I use on first downs, just kind of keep people honest. Situations where people like to kind of rush and blitz or something off the edge, trying to keep them honest, get their user from rushing so much. This is just good little play opener play that you can get easy yards. Now, what I would do, I would strongly suggest, like if you have two physical receivers, put them in the slot. So whether it's two physical receivers or two tight ends, Smith, ball. So just kind of do a little half roll, throw it to your guy, and follow your blocks. You're not necessarily always going to break this one to the house like you would with other screens, but it is just enough to kind of keep them honest. Sometimes you might want to throw it a little bit before you're ready. Also, be mindful that if you're playing against people that throw contain, you're going to have to put a little touch on it so it doesn't get picked off. Okay, but this is going to be your opener play that you'll be able to start your drives off with. Okay. Let's go. If it gets to the point where they start worrying about that one, then we do the halfback slip swift. Okay. So again, if they're playing a lot of zone, it's pretty much the best time to run it is in zone coverage. Only thing you're going to do right here is you're going to motion you run him back to the opposite side. Okay, run a little hook and just throw it just like that. So now you got two screens in your arsenal to keep defenses honest. Okay. The only thing that might be a tell is, your motions. If you're doing it too frequently, you might have to scheme off your motions. But that's going to be your two screens against zone users or drop zone users or what people that spam the same play over and over again. You're definitely going to be able to capitalize just strictly off the screens, okay? Just wait for them to cross, boom, boom. And like I said, this one is a little bit different than the other one. You can technically bring this one to the house if they don't match up with you correctly, okay? But between the two of them, you'll have your play starter, and then you'll have your situational that you can use anytime they blitz. Specifically, if they're blitzing in the middle or something like that, you're playing a lot of people. I wouldn't necessarily use it against man. Sometimes, it might not bode well, or I wouldn't use it against people that contain too much. But other than that, that's going to be the second play that you're going to have in your arsenal at your disposal that you're going to be able to capitalize with. There's going to be a couple of these plays that I use that you should only run flipped, okay? Kind of get into them real quick. So one of the first ones is going to be the cross slot option. If you have a left-hand quarterback, you can run it as is. If you have a right-hand quarterback, you have to run flipped, okay? So situations, if I'm running something like this, just go random nickel. Usually, if I'm running it like this, I'm going to run it closer to the hash on the right, on this side of the ball. Okay, Now, I'm going to motion the crosser over here. Okay, that'd be the first thing that I do. And then I put an angle route. Usually I'll start off with an angle and a flat. If I'm closer to the middle, if I'm like right here, let me see. If I'm closer more to the middle, it won't be a flat, it'll be an out route. So it'll be like this. So it'll be the out route with the angle, okay? Now, against cover 3, your read is going to be that corner route is going to just destroy cover 3, okay? So you just kind of read it. Now, if they match up to it, you just take your check. But sometimes if they bite down or whatever, you know, you have that at your disposal. But it should just look like that. You know, that'd be your hot read is right there. A little out route. Now, if they go like cover 3 sky or something, you'll probably get them over the top. But it's just mainly that's all you're going to do. Just kind of, it doesn't matter what their zone is. Just kind of read it. And if that ain't covered, you always got on the back side, you got an easy 5-yard catch. Okay. And then if they bite down on that, obviously you'll have the dig right behind it. So that's going to be, your play is just going to look exactly like this. Just read the flat, and then you got your corner. So all your reads are viable. You have to make the read. I can't tell you who to throw it to all the time because people change their defense. But you just got to go through your read progression. Like I said, I want to read the quick route first, which is always going to be the out route, and then I'm going to read the running back. And then if I decide I want to go, like if those two are covered, then I'm going to probably read that little option choice by the slot on the backside, then the dig. And usually the last read would be the corner, but, you know, sometimes you dial in and you feel like you can hit it, you know, by all means. So like, boom, that's a bad pass. But try not to hold on to the pass buttons too much. But like I said, this formation, you will always, this specific play, you will always run it flipped. See how he motioned over? He didn't really cover. Tight end. Okay, so you match down to it. That's fine. I don't get as many reps in this as possible. I just go straight into the game and play with it. Boom. And then sometimes that running back gets open underneath. Now, if you're playing squads, you want to make sure that your partner is the running back. And you also want to make sure that your partner does this motion, okay? And just, you know, communicate it to him. Be like, okay, I want you to motion this guy, then I want you to get on the running back, okay? It's easier for that than, you know, just having them trying to be the playmaker. Like, you can't play hero ball if you're playing squads. Like, you gotta, if someone's running the offense and they communicate stuff to you, you know, be in chat, listen to them, you know. Sometimes it might not always work. Don't, you know, now if it's just getting out of hand, not working, yeah, put your input in, but for the most part, you know, somebody's offense, let them run their offense, okay? But that's going to be that play. Now I'm gonna have 2 runs that I use, okay? You're going to have the base run, and then you're going to have the halfback direct, okay? Now, what I do with my runs is I do my play flip, okay? So I know base, I always run it left, okay? So we're going to come with it running right, and then we're just going to pick a play and immediately just flip it, all right? Now, certain formations, I don't really like base, like this one. I'm probably going to need to hike it a little bit quicker. So my hike versus like something that's a potential cover 0 or something, or a double A gap, my hike would be between the guard and the tackle. Don't wait too late, because if you do it too late, the receiver coming across the formation is probably going to kick the ball, and the ball is going to come free. So make sure you hike it like right there so that you can get that switch block. Kind of slow it down for you so I ain't got to keep spamming it. Once y'all see where I'm hiking it, see, you do it just right, that receiver is going to kind of jam up that little space. Like if he blitzes that gap where he comes in, say to get his little switch block, it allows my tackle to come in, pick up the A gap, the receiver picks up the backside. Okay, so it allows my guard to pull, and I'm able to go up. All right, so I'm going to run it one more time. Always run it flipped at the field. Don't flip it pre-snap. Okay, you just read the formation. If you feel like you like it, you'll be right there. Boom, boom. They get the switch. And it's very important that you hike it right there. If you do it too soon, he's not gonna run across the formation and block the A gap on the backside. If you do it too late, or if you do it too late from the point where it needs to be hiked, he's probably gonna kick the ball and you're probably not gonna be able to recover it. Some bullshit might happen. But for this specific play, it needs to be between the tackle and the guard, so that they don't run into each other. Okay. But that's going to be that one. Nothing that you really need to go into detail about. It is pretty straightforward. The next one is the halfback direct. Now this one's you're going to have to emphasize, like if you're playing squads with someone, you're going to have to tell them you're going to look like you're getting the ball, but you're not. All right. So what you're going to do is the same thing as between the left tackle and the left guard is where you're going to hike it at the right tackle. Okay. Watch. And he's going to come across the center. It's going to look like he gets the ball. And then you can just go up to it. Okay? So again, same thing, flip the play. In between the base run and this one, look, it looks like he gets the ball and then you get downfield. I use this a lot in short yardage situations. It's a pretty solid run. You kind of squeeze into what you're doing. Okay? So again, just kind of between the left guard and left tackle, hike it. It looks like he gets the ball. You can definitely do some damage with this. Okay. So one more time. Looks like he gets the ball, just enough to kick that contained defender off. All right. So that's going to cover your runs, your screens, and my little go-to pass play. There are some other things that you can kind of just throw in between, like the PA. The angle screen is another one that I like to use. But with this one, Saints. This one's going to be something if you're more towards the middle of the field on the right side, not middle of the field to the left side. So if I'm, let's say, close, somewhere in between this area, I like to call it. You don't want to call it on the hash. You don't want to call it if you're too close to the hash, to the boundary, because sometimes he overruns his route. Playing squats, you need to motion this corner route over. And you can't throw that post now unless you set your feet. All right, so if they're just doing like a bagged defense where they're just rushing one, then you can, press R2 to scramble, then let it go until your quarterback sets his feet so you don't have to throw off the back foot animation. 2 reads in here. If it's man coverage, you're going to hit turbo on the quarterback and then release and then hit the little speed out. All right, so that's for man coverage. You get you 2-3 yards, 4 or 5 yards, somewhere in that range. Zone, you want whoever if you're running squads, your user is, tell him to run right at the defender. All right, if they touch you, they're going to get called for PI. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But really, the priority read is going to be the screen. Okay, so it'll be just boom like this, and just wait until he gets behind the lineman before you throw. So just one more time. Motion him over, telling you if it's man or zone. Zone, usually, like I said, I'm reading the screen and the post. So just show you can throw the post. You can actually throw that like circle route too. You can make a read on it. A little tricky. So if it's covered 2, I got that route by Devontae. I'm gonna actually try it. I normally don't, but yeah, You're not going to have the pass protection to make that. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't max protect. Okay, that's just. So yeah, you're not really going to have time to throw those deep ones. So it's just going to be the screen priority. Wait till the lineman get upfield before you throw it. And you can improvise off of it as well. Like if you feel like you want to have the high-low with the corner and the speed out on that side, you can motion this receiver and then just throw it downfield if you feel like you got it. Obviously, I need a faster quarterback. If I had like Ben Young or whoever the fastest quarterback is, then I could open it up a little bit more. But I think for the most part, it'll probably be the speed out and the screen. And try not to throw it off your back foot. I know I did right there, but make sure your 3 blocks get downfield before you throw it. So I think this is probably the best way to run this. Blocks get downfield, boom, boom. Sometimes bad stuff happens, but other than that, for the most part, it does what it's supposed to do. You're going to get positive yards. You're going to wear down defensive lines. You're going to build composure for your offensive line because on screens, when they knock people down, even it's almost guaranteed you're going to get knockdowns because they're going to hit the second and third level of defense. When you get pancakes with your offensive line, that gets them in the zone. And when they're in the zone, they get the little fire thing under them. Their ratings increase. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing your screens so that them boys can block for you even better, right? So that's pretty much your 3 screens that you have. And then obviously you do have a verticals in this formation. You do have a couple of motions with the running backs that you can use versus zone. But I kind of just use those just sparingly. And then you do have the PA read. Same thing with the PA read on the runs you're going to do with the pass. Do not run it with the running back on the left. You're going to have block sheds, okay? It's not going to be a clean animation. Fucking D-line's going to shed like crazy. Flip the run. Play action animations always come better if you're a right-hand quarterback and the running back's on the right. And just read the defense, okay? So usually, sometimes I might run a stock if I feel like they're not going to cover the slot. He's going to be open. Like I said, there's no ebook for just it's cover 3, usually cover 3 or cover 1. Something. Usually I'll stem this down, but I'm also going to show you something here in a second. You stem it, you should be able to throw it over. You're going to stem this, it doesn't matter how many times, and then you're going to do it again, and you're going to smart route it. Now he's going to basically have a little speed route here. Okay? Watch how fast he takes off. Okay? So do it one more time. See how he lines up? So that's man-to-man. All right, so it's man-to-man. Now, if you have a faster receiver and you want to do this, usually like a corner, just stem him and then smart route like that. And he's just going to get a speed boost off the line like crazy. Okay. Still got to play with it. I'm, it's still in the lab parts of it. But for the most part, I like it. So it's man-to-man. I'm just going to play with it, see which one works the best. So if I do the number 2, that's going to give me a clear out. If I can get me a good number 1 receiver on the outside, I can probably get. I would probably have to cancel the play action to make that deep read. So it look like that. And just block the running back, right? He should clear out. The only thing is he is kind of rubbing my guy a little bit. So I might have to do a motion. See if I can do like a motion switch. So if I do, yes. Okay. So I can motion him left to make him the point receiver. give him the corner, stem it, then smart route it. Let me just put him like a reverse swing. The way you see, boom, there we go. So that's going to be your corner route. It's going to work better than corner routes, okay? So you're just going to flip it. You're going to tell your guy to motion him left so he's the point receiver. It should look like that. And then you're going to run a corner, stem it, doesn't matter how many times, and then smart route it, just like that, all right? If I do it with a play action, yeah, don't do it with a play action. Still feel like it's right there. It allows some shits. I might actually just put a triple option on it. Motion McCoy left. Corner. And then smart route it. Okay, so it should look like that. He's just going to get wide. There we go. Give you a nice little clear out for that double read. Okay. So it's just like I said, make your reads. Don't just throw it to whoever just because you have whoever. Go through the process. Stem them twice. Smart route them. All right, so that's pretty much going to cover this formation for the most part. It does have, I believe, it does have a 4 verts. Yeah, it's got the 4 verts that I infamously love. But the only thing with this, your verts always, like anytime you're running like any type of cross or verts, they always have to go to your quarterback's throwing arm. So like right here, all you're gonna do is just have like a little comeback, and you can make reads off of that. So like if you want to read neighbors and the comeback, you got that. And then what I would do on the backside is just put a little hook zone, right? So that should kind of give you a little check down if you don't like what you see deep, or you can get your one-on-one downfield if they're pressing, okay? Go to Madden, I like to hit my deep shots, but that's pretty much how you're going to run this. Have that right there, corner right there. You just make your read. Hand coverage, I go with my infamous user catch, okay? Not always going to get all of them. I don't have like the top receivers at every position, but just kind of work it. So this will be the last play. Just kind of read, cover 3. If he takes that, then you throw the option. Not going to always get clean reps. I do have a decent D-line. Now he does have an option read, so what I could do is I could run a zig under and just get a backside dig like that. So that would be the other way that I would run this. I see, man. But that's pretty much going to cover all of that for you guys. I hope that y'all utilize this free offensive ebook formation that I like to use. Hopefully it helps you guys win games. Hopefully y'all understand. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But hopefully this helps you out.